The late 19th century witnessed a seismic shift in the American landscape. The vast open countryside that had defined the nation for so long began to give way to burgeoning urban centres. This transformation was not just a change in scenery, but a fundamental shift in the way of life for millions of Americans. The nation, once predominantly rural, was rapidly urbanizing. Small towns and villages expanded into bustling cities almost overnight. The pace of change was dizzying as new buildings and infrastructure sprang up to accommodate the growing population. Cities swelled with new arrivals drawn by the promise of opportunity. Immigrants from Europe and other parts of the world poured into the United States, seeking a better life. They brought with them diverse cultures, languages, and traditions, adding to the rich tapestry of urban life. Factories, fueled by industrial might, became magnets for those seeking work. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, and factories needed labourers to keep up with the demand for goods. These factories were often the first stop for many new arrivals, offering steady, if grueling, employment. From New York to Chicago, Pittsburgh to San Francisco, the urban landscape was forever changed. Skyscrapers began to pierce the sky, and the skyline of these cities became symbols of progress and modernity. Each city developed its own unique character, shaped by its industries and the people who lived there. This was the Gilded Age, a time of both dazzling progress and stark social contrasts. Wealth and poverty existed side by side, with opulent mansions just blocks away from overcrowded tenements. The gap between the rich and the poor was glaring, highlighting the inequalities of the time. The allure of the city was undeniable. The streets were alive with activity, from street vendors hawking their wares to children playing in the alleys. The city was a place of endless possibilities, where anyone could make a name for themselves with enough hard work and determination. For farmers facing hardship on the land, the city offered the hope of steady wages. Many left their farms behind, driven by crop failures and economic downturns, to seek a new life in the city. The promise of regular income and the chance to escape the uncertainties of agricultural life were powerful motivators. For immigrants arriving on American shores, cities like New York became gateways to a new life. Ellis Island was often their first stop, a place where dreams of a better future began to take shape. These newcomers faced many challenges, but their resilience and determination helped them carve out new lives in their adopted homeland. With this influx of people, however, came unprecedented challenges. Overcrowding became a serious issue, as tenements filled to capacity and beyond. Sanitation and living conditions were often deplorable, leading to the spread of disease and other health problems. Housing shortages, poverty and crime became endemic in burgeoning urban centres. The rapid growth of cities outpaced the ability of local governments to provide adequate services and infrastructure. Crime rates soared, and many neighbourhoods became dangerous places to live. The very fabric of American society was being tested in the crucible of the city. The challenges of urban life forced people to adapt and innovate, leading to new social and political movements aimed at addressing the issues of the day. Labour unions, social reformers, and community organisations all played a role in shaping the future of the American city. Yet, amidst the challenges, a vibrant urban culture began to emerge. Theatres, museums, and concert halls became centres of cultural life, offering a respite from the hardships of daily life. These institutions provided not only entertainment, but also a sense of community and shared experience. Theatres, museums, and concert halls provided entertainment and fostered a sense of community. They were places where people from all walks of life could come together to enjoy a play, a concert, or an art exhibit. These cultural institutions helped to bridge the social divides that characterized urban life. Department stores, a novel concept, offered a dazzling array of consumer goods. These new retail establishments revolutionized shopping, making a wide variety of products available to the public under one roof. They became symbols of the new consumer culture that was taking root in American cities. The city, for all its flaws, was a place of dynamism and innovation, a testament to human resilience and the transformative power of industry. The challenges of urban life spurred creativity and ingenuity, leading to new technologies and ways of living that would shape the future. The American story was being rewritten, street by street, in the shadow of towering factories and the clamour of the city that never sleeps. The rise of the American city was a complex and multifaceted phenomenon, marked by both triumphs and trials. It was a time of great change, laying the foundation for the modern urban landscape we know today. The story of American urbanization is inextricably linked to the story of immigration. From the earliest days of the nation, immigrants have played a crucial role in shaping the cities we know today. Between 1880 and 1920, over 20 million immigrants arrived in the United States, seeking refuge from poverty, persecution, and lack of opportunity in their homelands. This massive influx of people brought with it a wave of cultural diversity and a new set of challenges for the growing urban centres. Many hailed from southern and eastern Europe, including Italians, Poles, Russians, and Jews. These groups, each with their own unique languages, traditions, and customs, added to the rich mosaic of American society. These new arrivals, often speaking little English and unfamiliar with American customs, faced significant challenges in their adopted land. They had to navigate a new and often unwelcoming environment, finding ways to survive and thrive in a foreign land. Cities, with their promise of jobs and affordable housing, however cramped, became magnets for immigrants. The industrial boom of the late 19th and early 20th centuries created a demand for labour that these new Americans were eager to fill. They often settled in ethnic enclaves, seeking comfort and familiarity among their own. These neighbourhoods provided a sense of community and support, helping immigrants maintain their cultural identities while adapting to their new surroundings. Little Italy's, Chinatowns, and other ethnic neighbourhoods sprung up in major cities, each contributing to the rich tapestry of urban life. These areas became vibrant centres of cultural exchange, where traditions from the old world mingled with new American influences. Immigrants brought with them their traditions, languages, and cuisines, transforming the culinary and cultural landscapes of American cities. Street markets and food stalls offered a taste of home, while cultural festivals celebrated the heritage of these diverse communities. While facing prejudice and discrimination, these new Americans displayed remarkable resilience and work ethic. They persevered through adversity, determined to build better lives for themselves and their families. They took on the toughest jobs in factories, mines, and construction sites, forming the backbone of the industrial workforce. Their labor was essential to the nation's economic growth, driving the expansion of industries and the development of infrastructure. Their contributions were essential to the nation's economic growth, yet they often found themselves relegated to the margins of society, facing low wages, dangerous working conditions, and substandard housing. Despite these hardships, they continued to strive for a better future. The story of immigration in this era is a complex one, marked by both struggle and triumph, exploitation and opportunity. It is a testament to the enduring spirit of those who came seeking a new life, and to the ever-evolving nature of American cities, shaped by the diverse peoples who call them home. The rapid influx of people into cities far outpaced the availability of adequate housing. As industrialization boomed, cities became magnets for those seeking better opportunities, but the infrastructure was not prepared for such a massive population surge. To accommodate this surge, tenements, overcrowded and often unsanitary apartment buildings, became a defining feature of working-class neighborhoods. These buildings were hastily erected, often with little regard for safety or comfort, to maximize profit for landlords. These buildings, hastily constructed and poorly maintained, were breeding grounds for disease and despair. The lack of proper ventilation, inadequate lighting and poor construction materials made them hazardous places to live. Families, often large, were crammed into tiny, airless rooms, sharing communal toilets and lacking basic amenities like running water. Privacy was a luxury few could afford, and the constant noise and overcrowding took a toll on mental health. Life in the tenements was a daily struggle for survival. The residents, many of whom were recent immigrants, faced language barriers, discrimination, and the constant threat of eviction. Disease spread rapidly in the cramped and unsanitary conditions. The lack of clean water and proper waste disposal systems meant that illnesses like cholera and typhoid were common. Infant mortality rates were shockingly high. Many children did not survive their first year, succumbing to diseases that thrived in the unsanitary conditions. The lack of proper sanitation and ventilation contributed to the spread of tuberculosis and other deadly illnesses. The close quarters and poor air quality made it easy for diseases to spread from one family to another. The streets outside were often filled with garbage, and the stench of poverty permeated the air. Waste management systems were inadequate, and the accumulation of refuse attracted vermin and further exacerbated health issues. For many, the American dream seemed a distant promise, overshadowed by the harsh realities of tenement life. The hope for a better future was often dimmed by the daily grind of poverty and hardship. Despite these hardships, tenement dwellers created communities within these crowded walls. They formed bonds with their neighbours, sharing resources and supporting each other through difficult times. Neighbours relied on each other for support, sharing what little they had. Acts of kindness and solidarity were common, as people banded together to face the challenges of tenement life. Children played in the streets, finding moments of joy amidst the squalor. Their laughter and games provided a brief respite from the harshness of their surroundings. Religious institutions and social organizations, recognizing the plight of the urban poor, established missions and settlement houses to provide assistance and a glimmer of hope in these desperate circumstances. These organizations offered education, healthcare and social services to help improve the lives of tenement residents. The tenement, for all its horrors, became a symbol of both the challenges and the resilience of urban life in Gilded Age America. It stood as a testament to the strength and determination of those who lived there, striving to build a better future despite the odds.